Okay, so let's just talk about her. When she comes to you, she's already pre-prepped for you. So that's why she's ready to go. Okay, so you have your Sexy Lexi, right? Okay, because I want you to follow along. Now, most of the times when you get your piece, it's already going to be curled, pre-prepped, and you're going to want to wear it the way it is. I try to make sure I lock in a pretty good curl during transportation. Sometimes they may drop a little bit, but the cut is there, guys. So you can always reinforce the curl by just going ahead first by starting with a heat protectant, and then you can go ahead and use whatever heat tool you like, up to 425 to 450. Now, I wouldn't do that all the time, but heat is a treat. Remember that. And anytime you're using any type of hot tool, you're gonna wanna spread that heat out and protect the hair shaft. So we always wanna use a good heat protectant, okay? Say it with me. Heat protectant. You should not be flat ironing this hair when it's dirty. Not every other day either. That's excessive. Maybe what we'll do is maybe once out the week, and how you can work with your curl is enforcing it with either some type of roller set, or you can even do the Flexi rods, okay? It just depends on how straight you like the hair system to look, or how much you want to reinforce that curl. But when I tell you, I put great layers in here, and if you already are like me, we like to go and do our own thing, you probably have already cut some more layers, because I can only do so much framing for you, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to show you how to work her after a couple days. So this is an example of her curls are relaxed now. I've worn her a couple days now, and I love it because it's a smoother look. I also love it because the hair is free flowing. It has more volume in it as it gets older, and the layers help to allow the hair to move, and I love that, okay? So let's go ahead and put her on. Okay guys, so we're back. So what I did was I put the unit on. It's not tacked down at all yet, as you guys can see. Now, before you decide if you want to move your part or not, I would say this. Don't tack it down just yet until you know where you want it to be, okay? What I like to do is always make sure I keep in mind, because, we get bored and we want to switch it up. I like to have versatility, and I like really quick stuff. So what I like to do is prep my units with a part hidden in the inside. So that way, if I ever decide I want to switch up my look real quick, I don't have to fuss over it too much. So even though this is a middle part, and keep in mind, we only have 2 inches of parting space in the front, and 2 inches of 6 inches going back, okay? So you do have to kind of be careful, because for some, you may want to move your part and have it very deep, but you only have so much space. Now, you can definitely move your part by just shifting your unit. You may or may not want to do that. For me, I always like to see what can I do within the lace without moving my tabs, because what happens is, when you order this unit, it pretty much is made to fit. So it's not a frontal. So you're going to have those little ear tabs there. So if you don't want to be uncomfortable with, with your tabs kind of like, being out of place, or you having a buckle, you want to make sure, well, what can I do within the parting space that I have? If you find within the parting space that you have, it's not really working out for you, then I would say you can go ahead and shift it before you decide to place the unit with our product. So I like to see, let's see. I always like to see, if I do go over, how far over can I go without showing track? Because look, let me see up here. This is where the track is. We don't want nobody to see that, okay? So let's see, what can I get away without moving my unit and shifting it? And again, I want to reiterate, the reason why I didn't just do this is because the unit is made to fit. So when you go ahead and you change it, your ear tabs may end up right over here, or it can end up actually on your ear, which will make you have to shift your unit up. It won't be very comfortable, or you may even feel like, if you don't mind, you can get away with kind of cutting under here, and you may have to kind of just resuture that area you know how we do. We may cut certain areas. You can hide certain things in your units when they're longer versus our shorter units. You don't have much room for that. Okay. So let's see. I'm looking, even if I wanted it, you know, normally like my part may come over like that. We know we can't have it like that. So what I've done is, I know for me, I just need a slither. Just a slither. What I like to do is go in there and I will take a parting like I've done right here. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and show you how to move your part. Now, what I'm doing is just making sure my ear tabs are where they need to be and my middle is exactly in the middle, okay? You'll be surprised. Some people have a hard time setting their middle. And keep in mind, under here are where your ends of your tracks meet, because you only have 2 inches of parting space in the front and in the back. So if you're somebody that wants to go ahead and you want to change this area before you melt it in, I would definitely go in there and see where in your parting would you be able to go in without showing track. Which for me, what I like to do is, I like to hide a part in here. So I already preset this. So what you could do is you could go in, make the parting where you know you will want it, which I have tried my best to create a hideaway part that's a little bit away from my natural parting area. Yeah, there we go right there. You could definitely bear with me here. I moved it over just a little bit. There we go. This is pre-prep for your unit. So like when you want to move your part, you don't have to fuss too much. So once you find out where you want your part to be, even though you may not be keeping it here. Now for you, this may be up too high. For some people, it's perfect and they won't have to shift their unit. So what I normally do is I'll go in there and go and define my line just a little bit. Don't go crazy because you don't want to make a super big line. You're just going in and breaking it up. Even if it's a natural jagged part, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just so like when you move your hair to the side, it looks so freaking natural. So, this could be cool like this, but I'm going to go ahead and shift it just a little bit because I feel like it will look super dope off to the side. I'm going to move her down just a little bit more. Bring her back. Because this switches up the look for me. I've been rocking her on the side, in the middle, like the whole time. And then when I did it like this, I'm like, oh my God, it looks so much better. With the outfit I had on at the time. I like this placement, but I have to keep in mind of I only have so much. So if I'm trying to do like that like superwoman thing, it has to be in the confines of this area. So what I want to do is I'm going to pull that hair down and over. I kind of like to set it just a little bit. So you can use a light working spray. I'm going to use a little bit of our glue, our Grippies melting spray. Because what I want to do is kind of set this right here. I don't want that to, and that may be even a little too heavy for you. But for me, I know I don't want that little tab part to show, you know, underneath where you can like really see the buckle. So we're already gonna move that out the way. Okay. So I already know we're gonna do that. Now, right now I'm at my table, so I have like a blow dryer. I'm gonna go ahead and just set that. Now what I'll be able to do is I'm going to just lay that hair right on top. Bring it over. And because I wanted to kind of go back just a little bit, I'm going to spray a little bit more of my product. And I am going to come up and up, right up under it. There we go. Just so it creates a little bit of a little hump, but not too much. Now I'm going to comb that hair down. You want to get your powder brush. Remember, we detangle from the bottom and we move up top. And that quick, we're able to reset our style. And see, look. It's so cute. It gives you more drama in the front, especially if that day you felt like being dramified. Very nice, right? You can swoop it over as much as you want. If you want to get your Aaliyah on, go ahead and get your Aaliyah on. I'm not putting heat in it. I'm just smoothing out what's already there. Now, what you could do on the other side is you're going to do something very similar. You're just kind of setting it. And just, you got to play around. Remember, you only have so much space, so we don't want that to be shown. You want to make sure that you kind of over direct that forward, or make sure you have some type of hair covering that area so it's a little more inconspicuous. So I'm going to take a little bit of that spray just to set that area. I want to come just a little closer. Set that down. This is like so easy beginner friendly, okay? Easy beginner friendly. And eventually over time, if you wear makeup, you see like in here how, like I wear a lot of makeup, you'll need to clean it over time, okay? So like, you can't just think just because you put your lace tint on there, you're not going to get product buildup. Every now and again, you may need to go in there and clean it with a little bit of sea breeze or a little bit of water, with a cotton, like a towel or something, to just get some of that film off. So, you know, if you find like it's starting to look like it's not blending anymore and we can now see your grid, you're going to want to make sure you go and address that. So you could do it with a little bit of your own makeup to blend it out. And even in the line, you can make it a little more prominent where you can go ahead and put a little bit of your foundation color into this parting a little bit if you want to really accentuate it. But again, because this is a hidden part for me, I'm only putting it in there just for the day, you know, so it's nothing permanent. I just want to just switch it up real quick. I don't know if I want to be married to it to the degree where I want to do too much. That's why I want to go over plucking. I wouldn't over pluck it. So you may need some tweezers if you're feeling like this part is still too heavy for you. Okay. So I'm just softening that area. I feel like this part can be softened just a little bit more. Actually, by me bringing it backwards. There we go. Okay, good. I'm keeping in mind that, guys, all I did was shift it over just a little bit more. And let's just look and see. I always kind of like to get my fingers through it. Or sometimes I'll use like a texture spray because I like this bedroom hair. Oop, my little earring came off. Look at that. So cute. Side bang action. And if you're like me, we go in there and cut layers. If you feel like you need more layer in that area, you can go ahead and do that. I already sent it with like a pre-cut, but I think this is a nice switch up style for like when you just want to do something on the go and you just want some bedroom hair. It's beautiful. It's sexy. You could play with the shape. You can make it smoother. You may not want yours very wild. Just go ahead and comb that down. I'm going to take off these earrings real quick. Look at how more subdued that is. Me, I always like to play with my layers just a little bit, because the layers is what really sells the piece. And guess what? We didn't even tack it down yet. I didn't have to move it over too much. If you feel like your tab is on your ear, you're just going to have to pull it up, or you may have to cut the actual tab. I love it. And guess what? I didn't have to do too much, right? So let me go ahead and just see what it looks like when I move these tabs back to where they are. So as you can see, my tab right here is a little bit up, and this is on my ear a little bit. So it actually doesn't look bad like from this angle either. So guess what? With me setting that part in there, I really have enough room to have some type of bang action right here without me having to shift my unit. So everyone's head is different. It depends on what you're trying to go for. Everybody doesn't like a super dramatic part. But I want you to see you can do a part with your unit without having to change the whole style or even asking me to set you one. You want to make sure you have your own, okay? Yes, and so that's pretty much it. That's the tutorial. I just want to show you just the options you have. And of course, you can always feel free to go in and tweak it. This is just to give you a little more context. I'm going to bring you more videos on what you could do with your Miss Sexy Lexi, okay? And another thing, if you like volume, I love this stuff by Joico. It's called Body Shake. It's a texturizer finisher, and I spray kind of in my layer because I like that voluptuous hair, and it brings out the layers and it adds the fluff. Period. So if you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor, like and subscribe, and make sure you share this. Please shop our products at www.TruNuScalp.com. That's TRUNU Scalp.com. I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye, guys.